Hey everyone, and welcome back to Mechabellum. In today's video, I've got my favorite spec as well as a comp that I haven't been playing as much when the Sabertooth got added as a standard unit, the Spider. And of course, the specialist here is going to be none other than the Elite Specialist. This is during a session where I was playing Elite Specialist whenever it came up during the stream. And yeah, I mean, I always find this a fun spec. I think it's actually quite good. I've played it a lot, so I just feel comfortable with yeah, how you need to play with it. My opponent is none other than Steel Sane, strong 401 player. Will also be playing in the Mag 1 event this weekend in my group, so I might actually face him then again. And yeah, let's see how we play this. Obviously, Tarantula, I think, has gotten a bit worse because of those Sabertooth openers. Lucky for me, I'm up against one of the best case scenarios as my opponent opens up with sledgehammers and marksmen, and tarantulas are very good into that type of stuff. Opponent here goes for double arclight, is kind of obliged to do so. The reason for that is that I have triple crawler and sledgehammers really aren't enough to be able to chaff clear, especially with a push, which is usually what you'd expect from a tarantula player. I decided to add 2 marksmen. Normally, I would probably try and stall and go for something like Phoenix, but the nice thing about Elite is you get those level 2 marksmen on round 1, and they can one-shot the level 1 sledgehammers as well as the arclights, and that makes a big difference. So I don't mind buying these so much on Elite. I decided to put my 3rd crawler here all the way in the bottom right. That was in case he wanted to buy some crawlers behind the tower. I didn't want to get debuffed midway through the round. Speaking of debuffs, we will be able to punch through the left side there and grab the debuff on that side of the board. This tarantula will end up dying. They were tanking for the most of that round, but I think that was worth it. Kind of getting those crawlers into the enemy backline, I think, is way more valuable, and that's also why you will see me position these crawlers behind my tarantulas on round 1. And then the second reason is the line moves forward on round 2, so if I want to put stuff there, I kind of want to have it on the actual line rather than on the quote-unquote fake line from round 1. Round 2, we immediately get unit reinforcements, and on Elite, round 2 is usually a bit awkward. Even if you skip or there's no free unit drop, you have 450 resources at most, and that doesn't allow you to buy a new 300 cost unit. It also doesn't allow you to recruit 3 150 cost units, so you're always in a bit of a pickle. Luckily, with these type of drops, I can go for something like the Farseer, the more expensive option, and still have 300 left to buy 2 150 cost units. And so that's exactly what we do. We pick up the Farseer, extremely strong unit here. In the early game, we'll do good against pretty much anything. And yeah, we can just buy double Fang and have a pretty chill round. Fangs here are going to go on the front. I've liked doing this. Horizontal Fangs in the front line, kind of like you would position crawlers, especially with the slower units like the Sabertooth or the Tarantula. It works a bit better, in my opinion, because the crawlers often will just run in and die before the engagement happens. And yeah, let's see how this goes. Opponent picks up the Saber, does get access to his marksman spec. And yeah, the level 3 marksman there on the board does lock onto my Tarantula and gets rid of it very swiftly. However, the Farseer is doing a fantastic job on my end. Will manage to get that tower. It almost goes down, but not quite. And with the debuff, it'll manage to gobble up those marksmen. And that should be the round going over to us. 1 marksman remains, and we will take that down as well. So 2 rounds back to back here, and my opponent's already down to near 3k, so things are looking quite good. Round 3, we get 2 spells, and I was expecting him to pick up either of these. He goes for the sticky oil bomb, but smoke also was something that seemed logical to me. So how do we play around that? Well, first of all, I'm going to pick up the smoke myself as well, and then I'm going to position it on the right side, because it is relatively logical for him to place at least 1 shield on the left, since that's where I'm pushing, and he wouldn't want that to get smoked. However, I doubt he will invest into 2 shields, especially when the right side is a little bit underpopulated in terms of units. And that's an expensive round, right? 150 for the spell, plus a shield, plus another one. That gets a bit unlikely. So here we're pushing right side with a new Tarantula and a Crawler. And on top of things, we're using that smoke on the right side. And yeah, there we see the last second shield come out. So a perfect read from us. And we should have an easy win here. Marksman should lock onto the Tarantula. So will the Arclight. That means that these Crawlers will get escorted in. And we should get a tower debuff. Now, if I manage to get this shield, which seems very likely, especially with the debuff, we are going to be incredibly ahead. Because while this oil will remain on the ground, so will that smoke. And so we're kind of trading blow for blow here. However, I'm coming out on top. And round 3 here should go my favor as well. Things are looking mighty fine so far. Elite Spec usually struggles a bit in the mid game. Also can struggle to recover from tempo plays since everything is so expensive. But if you're in the driver's seat, it looks really, really good. Now round 4. And none of these look too good. Nothing really I would want to play. So this is likely going to be a quick skip on my end. Steel Saint also decides to skip. Makes sense. And we're just going to be investing into our board here. I think I was talking to chat. I don't know why this took me so long. There's nothing much to consider here. We can see in the background, opponent there going for the range on his arc lights. Just to be able to deal with the chaff a bit better. But he's still going to struggle against the Tarantulas here. Doesn't really have any solid DPS apart from this one level 3 marksman and the Saber. But the Saber has been a bit sad so far. I did alright last round thanks to the oil, but that's about it. Another one gets added on the right side outside of the smoke. Trying to make sure this will lock onto the Tarantula, but I know that this is a threat, and so I grab another Tarantula there to be able to kind of solidify our board. And then obviously another Fang in front to try and prevent this type of stuff from happening and insta-locking. Even without it though, I wonder if it would have insta-locked. The Crawlers might have gotten in front in time. And yeah, you can see here, Saber there distracted. And the thing is, without range on the Saber and with it only being level 1, it goes down pretty quickly to these level 2 Tarantulas. Left side as well, Farseer there doing a fantastic job. You can see it's 3rd on damage so far, so I'm very happy with that pickup. Left side is holding its own. Will eventually go down, that marksman doing a fantastic job. But so is mine. We get the debuff right side there, going strong with the 2 level 2 Tarantulas. Now moving in to kill this marksman, grab the experience. And oh, even going for the tower to guarantee the level up. Level 3 Tarantula will be possible. And so we enter round number 5 with more free units showing up. My opponent there goes for Mustang. I was very surprised when I saw this as the round started, because I don't consider Mustang to be very good into Tarantulas. In fact, I think they're really bad into them. It's one of the few units you don't mind seeing when playing Tarantula. And I don't really know why he picked it. I'm guessing because of all the fangs in front. But it's kind of hard for me to spam these and go shielded fang because, well, they're expensive and I don't really want to feed level 2 fang shields or fang experience into my opponent. But that's the only logical reason I could come up with. I decided to go for the Phantom Rays. I thought both of those, or that unit was kind of annoying for the both of us to deal with, and I decided to pick up the instant stealth cloak to make sure that when they're not in range of anything, they don't just end up dying to the marksman. And these end up doing usually better than you'd expect into something like a single target DPS anti-air unit like the marksman. They actually are really annoying to deal with, and usually they don't even get one shot. These level 2 marksmen don't one-shot the phantoms, so they need 6 shots to kill the whole pack of phantom rays, and that takes a while. Levels on the tarantulas. Another phantom ray picked up, and we just make sure that there's some more chaff all the way in the back line. And I mean, yeah, here you can see, like, one of them is dead, but then, oh, they go into stealth. They're distracting that marksman. Stealth here, not quite on time, but still providing very good front line for these tarantulas, and they're dealing some damage, let me tell you. Oh my, this level 3 tarantula is an absolute monster. And I think again it will come out ahead and kill this marksman, and he's worth so much experience there. And by round 6, my opponent is down to 1500 experience. Now round number 6, we've got orbital javelin available. I thought my opponent would pick this up and go for this tarantula here, since it has been doing it very well. And I think it could be a useful tempo round, maybe even try and hit these phantoms. But he actually goes for the Wasp Swarm. And, well, I saw that card was available as well, so I will be playing around it. No reason not to, really. And you can see that I pick up the mobile beacon there, take the temp speed, and try to move my units out of the way. And also kind of move them into this tower, as this side should lose quite a few units. Lucky for me, he adds another saber there, and it looks like that might get hit. I'm also trying to hit the Mustangs and just get a decent value javelin. It's a cheap spell, and I thought I would be trading it, but yeah. It's Wasp Swarm instead, but we put some fangs behind the towers, and so far our reads have been really good. Opponent goes for Tower Oil this time. The other sticky oil will come off cooldown next turn, but so will our smoke. And yeah, just some levels, some more chaff, and that's about all of it. Temp range here as well, by the way. Opponent's already loaning for the temp range. The sabers do have the range enhancement as well, but yeah, one of them they're dying alongside the big marksman. And you can just see how powerful these tarantulas on the outside are, creating massive problems. That tower is leveled, but the level 2 phantoms should be able to take it down. And that's going to be yet another round going our way. Which makes sense because we did pick the javelin, but still, I think that's worth it when our opponent is now down to 448 hit points. By round 7. Round 7, bunch more spells show up. Lightning Storm there available. Rhino Assault, I think hard to deal with, or hard to make use of, rather. I think it wouldn't do too much. Electromagnetic Impact, however, quite useful. And might allow us to break us some shields and land the smoke. Opponent goes for the Lightning Storm. Very expensive card there. 400 cost. And yeah, I'm not sure how good it is. I mean, I probably should put down some shields, but my tarantulas are too tanky to really care about the spell, I think. And maybe so do the phantoms, we'll have to see. But yeah, you can see I pick up the EMP, the cheaper spell. And I'm going to try and smoke over here, and I'm expecting him to shield, but I can see that his fangs on the right here are relatively, well, close to the tower where the shield would be, and there's nothing really to block that missile. EMP deals 35,000 damage. A missile deals 5,000. That's a combined 40k, which is going to be the same as the shield generators. And so this is a trick that you can sometimes use if you get EMP as a spell to break a shield before another spell lands. And so here we're going to try and break these shields, or at least this one, and land the smoke anyway. We do shield both of our sides. Definitely want to keep those marksmen safe. And we decide to click Mech Rage as well here. I'm not going for HE because I have high-level spiders. And I want to keep that DPS up. And also, the extra speed is not too bad, considering all of the oil on the ground. And so, yeah, you can see us moving in here. Storm not doing too much. Those shields broke perfectly. The smoke does land. Now we've got marksmen running into close range of the tarantulas and the phantoms. And that is just not a good time for them whatsoever. Right side, tarantula is a bit stuck in the oil, but with the movement speed it has, it's trying to make its way through. We get the debuff on the left side. We'll get it on the right side as well. And I mean, just look at these Mech Rage tarantulas. It's a bit of a chore to get these guys to come online sometimes, but when they do, it's still quite a satisfying unit, at least I find. And that's how we close out the game. We didn't lose a single round, and sometimes with Elite, that's just how it goes. If you make the correct reads with the spells, and you can just gain some tempo, you can be in the driver's seat, these games can get out of control real quick. We made the correct moves as well, or the correct picks rather, with the free units. I think my opponent made a big mistake going for Mustang there. I understand that the fangs might be a little scary, but on Elite, I think you probably don't want to respect it too much. And going Mustang into high-level Tarantulas is just never a good time. And yeah, we just managed to kind of, yeah, roll over our opponent. The Saber is also a bit too late, I think. Only level 1 there, just not able to do anything. Quite far forward, and they get targeted fast, and those Phantoms are creating problems for him all across the board. Either way, if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below. Do you like Tarantulas? Do you not? Are you like me and you kind of tried to avoid them ever since Saber got into the game? Let me know. And if you want to see me play live, please check me out on Twitch. Consider subscribing if you want to stay up to date with my latest content. And with that being said, take care, guys, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.